that there's 104 people here. So we're gonna, okay, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna start recording too. Andrew's already started, so okay, cool. So yeah, I think we're just gonna start, and if one of our speakers comes, he comes. If not, we'll see. But yeah, so welcome to Hack the Helyx. It's the opening ceremony, so yeah, welcome. It's first day. So the submission period for this competition just opened like a few minutes ago. So if you already have your product done, which is kind of weird, then you can submit it. But yeah. So organizing team. Andrew, do you want to talk about this? And is Andrew? Okay, so yeah, I'm Yash. I'm the co-director. So I in terms of my experience and stuff, I've worked with programming most of my life. I've done a lot of data analysis work, lots of work in machine learning, deep learning, and stuff like that. So I'm decently experienced, and I also have competed in a good amount of hackathons. So that also means any questions you have about programming or structuring a product or anything like that, I can help.
I'm Andrew. I am also another co-director, and I specialize in marketing and outreach. So a lot of you might have found out about our hackathon through Instagram or Discord server. So that was me. And also we have William King, who isn't here right now, but he's our VP, and he is specializing in also outreach, marketing, advertising. So those of you who came from Reddit or other places, probably it was through Will.
Yeah.
And then, of course, thank you to our amazing sponsors who donated over, I think, around $2,000 total.
Yeah.
So our presenting sponsor is Sparkteen, which is another student-led organization based in Portland, Oregon, and they will be doing an entrepreneurship talk soon. So if any of you are interested in starting a company in the future or just entrepreneurship in general, FBLA, DECA, HOSA, it would be a good experience for you. And that's actually led by the leader of Sparkteen, so that would be a special experience. Our next sponsor is our gold level sponsor, Hamilton Education, which is an amazing college counseling and test prep company based in San Diego, and they have a lot of successes. I believe they've had, I think, 40 ACT, SAT perfect scores. In fact, by doing prep through them, I got a perfect score on the ACT and a 1590 on the SAT as a sophomore. So they have a really good program, really great tutors, and they even have online learning programs, so you can actually keep learning online. And they've adjusted their curriculum to fit the new AP exam format. So I definitely recommend it, not just because they sponsored us, but also because a lot of us have actually taken class with them, and it's really good. Our other silver sponsors are Singularity Genomics, Kumquat Biosciences, and Latitude Pharmaceuticals. They're all local biotech, bioinformatics companies that do a lot of medicine, healthcare related activities. We also are powered by DevPost for submissions.
Yeah.
And
I'll talk more about that after.
And the next people we want to thank are all our amazing ambassadors. And after the hackathon, we will be starting to raffle out the awards and prizes for the ambassadors. So hang tight. So shout out to Skylar Basco, Eric Song, David Nashe, Jed Kia, Peter Tao, Alice Ye, Sarah Gao, Lamia Ladam, and more. And these are our top ambassadors. I believe Skylar actually got, I think, 16 or 17 people to sign up. I think by now 20. So they all did a great job of helping spread the word about our hackathon, especially to new people who haven't actually done a hackathon before.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Stream is actually breaking my. Okay, so what is a hackathon? In the most simple terms, a hackathon is this amount of time that you have to create software. So it's super constrained. So you might ask what can you do in this amount of time, right? You can't build anything super significant because it obviously takes time, right, to plan and work it out. But the entire point is to get ideas out there. So And then you're also it also like it's also like a team builder at like many big companies. So like Google does their own hackathon, like Facebook does their intercompany hackathon. So there's just like lots of implications like towards a hackathon. So this also allows for like faster product management and faster like product delivery and like product development in certain companies, because essentially they're rushed in like this period of time, but they have a basis where they can build off of. So what a hackathon is you essentially have 3 days to program to program a software. So when I say software, I mean like it could be an app, it could be something physical like in Arduino or a Raspberry Pi, it can be a website, it can be a dashboard, it can be anything. Like anything software related it can be, but it has to relate to the theme in an impactful manner and like towards the judging criteria, which I'll talk more about. But yeah. And then so what to expect. So obviously every person is required a team of 2 to 4. So if you don't have your teams right now, that's fine. Like we'll get you paired up and we'll ensure that you can submit. And so by that we'll probably have like some project gallery in which like people that already have projects or like ideas can like pitch them and like attract new members so that everyone can participate. You make cool things that like can honestly serve as a basis of like that of like, so like not only do you like learn stuff through making stuff, but like you also make these things that like this software that can like act as a basis of like future projects, and like if you want to continue working on it, it's all yours to work on, and like you can expand on it. It's just like an idea starter and like some like a starting place. And then you receive prize money if you get the top 3. So for prizes, so the first place is a $400 grand prize. Second place is a $200 prize. Third place is $100, and then we have our 4 special awards, which you can check out on the website. But it's best design, most innovative, best presentation, and most socially impactful. And all 4 of those get $25, awards. Andrew.
So as far as our schedule goes, we have a lot of cool activities lined up for y'all. So of course, right now we have these times are on Pacific Los Angeles time, by the way, so keep that in mind. So at 10 a.m. we have our kickoff, which is going on right now, and then at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. we'll start having our beginner workshops for those of you who haven't coded before. And if you're new to coding, kudos to you for taking the dive and trying out this hackathon, because that's really good on you for being willing to take like this step. So we'll be guiding you step by step through making a website and also making a personal dashboard. So with this dashboard, you can basically import data from another source automatically and have it show up on your dashboard. So you can use this for gathering the news, weather, perhaps even coronavirus, depending on where you want to go with this project. At 7 p.m., Yash will be doing his seminar on introduction to convolutional neural networks, which is part of deep learning. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., Helyx, a Helyx member, will be doing a workshop on professional branding and how to get internships. At noon, Kyler Wang, the director of Spark Teen, which is our presenting sponsor, will be doing a Q&A on entrepreneurship and how to like start a company. At 3 p.m. Eleanor Jung who's a ISEF Grand Award sweepstakes runner-up, will be doing a seminar on a novel approach to kill bacteria and stop bacterial infections using endolysins and peptides. At 5 p.m., Olivia Zhou, a Cambridge Gates scholar, will be doing a microbiology talk. And the next day, Yuan Gao will be doing a talk on DNA. Kate Wang will be doing machine learning for drug discovery and pharmacophore. And Andrew Kwong will be doing a presentation on using AI to detect asthma. And yes, these workshops will all be recorded and uploaded to YouTube later. At 4 p.m., final submissions will be due on DevPost, which Josh will go over later. And from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., there will be judging, although we do offer a few alternate judging options. You can choose to record your presentation instead of giving it live if you're unable to make that time for time zone reasons. And at 8:30, we'll have our closing ceremony and awards announcements.
Yes, so just a little on judging. The judging period, the 5:30 to 7:30, that's just like for our judges, so like no one will need to attend it, so don't worry about like, oh, I have to block out 5:30 to 7:30, you know. And also like, yeah, I think that's it for judging. So we'll release results on the 13th tentatively, if we do everything. So now
Drum
sure
roll.
everyone's probably, yeah, I'm sure everyone's probably trying to get the secret theme. So yeah, the secret theme is environmental sustainability. So that's like the main theme, but we're gonna allow, so like we know that right now that coronavirus is like a really big issue, and we know that people would definitely want the chance to make software. So we decided that we'd add a coronavirus theme and a biotech theme. However, the prize money only goes to the main theme. So if so, like if you make a project on coronavirus, that's cool, and like that obviously helps. It like biotech, that obviously helps, but like the main theme, like prize money, only goes to the environmental sustainability.
We will
There's
have,
definitely,
yeah.
yeah.
If you're new to, we expect most people to be, one other rationale for having these sub-themes is we expect most people to be doing the environmental sustainability thing, making it pretty competitive. So if you're new to coding, it might be another option for you to try one of our sub-themes where there's less participants, so you might have a better chance at winning a prize. And also,
Yeah.
if you do a coronavirus project or biotech project, you could possibly like enter it in another COVID competition or something like that. So, and there will be $50 prizes for the coronavirus and biotechnology track. So it's a smaller prize, but also a smaller pool of contestants.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend doing the environmental sustainability theme though. Like,
Yeah. So John had a question. Can you do environmental air awareness? Yes, absolutely. So environmental sustainability is really anything that's in some way helps us sustain or protect our environment. So raising awareness would definitely be a way to do so by educating the public.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, like just some like brief background on environmental sustainability. So there's like different, like the words, like breaking down the words individually, like environmental, that could consist of anything that like relates to the environment. So whether it be agricultural sustainability, which is really heavy in bioinformatics, whether it be, you know, like air pollution sustainability, or like anything that like you know, like runs in that theme. So the reason we chose this is like the reason we chose the environmental sustainability theme is we noticed that like, so right now like corona is a really big problem, right? But if you look at the data, for one, you can see that like a lot of it becomes environmentally like factored. And second, we chose it because environmental sustainability is a long-term problem. Like it's obviously, it's going to continue. So we obviously want to act on it, but while also acting on, you know, the current issues. So yeah. So judges. So the judges are, so we have what, 6 judges, I think. So the first one is Roger Gupta. He's a founding director of the HTSI, or Data Science Institute at UC San Diego. The second one is Ashwan Singh. He's the principal scientist at a big biotech firm known as Avivi. And then we have another judge who's Dr. Satyam Priyadarshi, and he's the chief data scientist and technology fellow at Halliburton. And then we also have Dr. Yin Gao, who is the CEO of Singular Genomics. Andrew, if you want to talk about the other two.
sure. So the other two judges, oh, you just said one of my judges. So the other judge we have is Alice Lee. She is a research scientist and data analyst at also at Singular Genomics, and she has a lot of experience with cancer research and bioinformatics tools.
Cool. Those are our judges. Those are the people that are going to be evaluating you for prizes. So, recommended resources of programming. So, like this is just personal experience and personal preference. Not like limiting this. Like you don't have to make something on Reply. You don't have to make something like on Glitch. But like these are definitely sources that like we've used in the past and that could definitely help. So REPL is an online IDE that serves for most languages and it's really easy to run stuff and see your stuff live. GitHub is a way to store code and work on it collaboratively. I definitely recommend getting GitHub Desktop. I may do a walkthrough or like an optional walkthrough of GitHub later, just like a quick thing. Glitch is what we use for most of our websites. So if you see the Helix tutoring program, which Andrew will talk about more, if you use the Hack the Helix website, those are all hosted on the software known as Glitch. And it's essentially a way that you can like easily see your websites, and it's really, really helpful. And then YouTube/online tutorials. If you're like experienced with programming, you know that a lot of programming is just Googling stuff, if I'm being honest. So definitely online tutorials help a lot, and that's something that like you should definitely. So and then like the last one's like people will probably think it's like not that useful, but it actually is. So language documentation is actually pretty important because like if you have errors in your code, like you don't know why, and you like there's a lot with language documentation. So definitely take a look at that, especially if you're using C.
So some of you are asking if we can do hardware, if you can do a hardware, like I'm assuming you're going to do some Arduino or robot submission. Yash, do we accept hardware?
So yeah, so the thing with hardware is that you're gonna have to upload a picture, or you're gonna have to upload a video of your hardware working. You're going to have to submit your code, and it's also like we'd recommend that you stick with software because it's really hard, especially if you're working with teams across the nation. It's really hard to with teammates like across the nation. It's really hard to like collaborate on Arduino, right? Unless you really want to do it, like we'll definitely accept it, but just like be mindful of these like things. So
Okay, so now how you can get involved with Helix. We have so this is the main organization that created the hackathon, and Yash, can you go to the next slide? So there's a variety of ways you can continue to be involved after participating in the hackathon. For example, we have our chapters program where you can start your own chapter and we'll give you materials and support to teach bioinformatics. We also read a science blog with an active science blog with many pieces on various topics of science, from chirality to phage therapy to stem cells. We've also been heavily involved in fundraisers throughout our community. We ourselves raised $400 to purchase masks and personal protective equipment. We have also 3D printed our own face shields and donated them to hospitals. And we recently helped raise nearly $9,000 with a youth care club, another local San Diego-based organization. So shout out to our amazing fundraising committee for helping with that. And we've also, of course, have our online research program, which is currently focused on COVID, but we are also expanding to do lung cancer and Parkinson's after in late May, after these things settle down. Next, we also have a research writing program where our editors and scientific review board will help you transfer your existing science research or science fair project into a paper, and then you can publish it through Helix and get a $10 reward. If you publish through us, then you're now eligible to present at the International Youth Research Summit. So that's an event we're hosting again virtually in June, and that's where we'll have some of the top high school researchers from around the world present on their work. So this will be like ICEF finalists, BioGenius winners, and of course, if you submit your research through us, or also just like sign up on the website, that would also be an option. Besides that, we also have the COVID Action Fund by Sparteen. So by being a Helix chapter, you have exclusive accelerated access to this action fund, which means you can have up to $100 in funding for a community project that alleviates some issue related that has been caused by the recent pandemic. So only by being a Helix chapter do you have special access to this. And the next part is our hackathon startup mentoring. Based on our past experience with running hackathons and online events, we are now able to help Helyx chapters start their own hackathons, whether in person or online, starting this year. So if you're interested in your Helyx chapter member, you can definitely reach out to us and we can help you start up a hackathon. We're also doing an online bioinformatics summer camp in partnership with a few other biology, science-related programs. Additionally, we're starting a podcast on science. So if you're interested in working on a podcast or you like podcasts, you should definitely check that out. We are also doing a free tutoring program, free online tutoring, with as well as an online learning resource database. So these are a few of the many things Helyx does, and you can also get involved with them too.
Yeah. Okay. So, slides are. So I'm gonna walk you guys through DevPost. So, like in the chat, how many of you guys actually have DevPost accounts? I think I sent out an email to organize. Andrew, can you answer the question in chat? The
Yeah, SG, you can do like a hardware with coding if you want, like Arduino or
okay.
robot.
Yeah, cool. So it's good that a lot of people have a DevPost account. We'll send out more details of the DevPost account just in case you don't have it. But yeah, let me walk you guys through it. Hold on, let me collapse this. Okay, so here's our DevPost page. It's hackthehelix.devpost.com. If you want to head over there right now. So on our DevPost page, we have, some basic mission statements. We have, details. So, and then like the prizes, including our sponsors on the side, and eligibility, submission requirements, our judges, which we have to update, and the judging criteria. So, right now, so everyone could just register for this hackathon. So as you can see, me, Will, and Andrew are already registered. If this loads, yeah. So me, Will, and Andrew are already registered. So then there's basic rules. It's just dates, and then for submissions, this is like pretty important. So, yeah, like we're gonna like walk you through submissions and how to submit stuff. But yeah, that's like most of the things. For submissions, there's just this brief form that you need to fill out, and then you need to upload your files. So, let me walk back to the submission. So, on the submissions, these are what you need to have. So please submit your app with the brief write-up if you're competing on the hackathon and not the Pitch Fest. However, for Pitch Fest submissions, please submit an app or a brief write-up and your pitch presentation slides and a video of your pitch.
Josh,
So
can you just check the DevPost visibility settings?
what?
It seems like people are unable to access the website.
Oh, okay. Oh, they didn't publish it for me. Okay, whatever. I got scanned. Yeah, so here we go. Can you guys see it now?
It should be okay now because I'm in incognito and I was okay. Great. Thanks, Grant and Kushmeet.
Hello.
Oh, that's William, I think.
Oh, William, yeah. This is that guy. But yeah. So you guys will be submitting your stuff through DevPost. And yeah, it's just like there's a simple form, you'll fill it out, you'll put your code, you'll put your other stuff in, and then it'll be all good to go. So if you guys can see this, yeah. So it seems like people are starting to register. And then I don't think we went over the Spark Team Pitch Fest. So the Spark Team Pitch Fest. So in Spark Team, there's this thing called the Accelerator Challenge, which is the global competition that gives like $6,000 in prize money. That's like what you probably like heard about that somewhere. But yeah, Let me just open the website. Sorry, the computer's being really slow because of the stream, but yeah. Right. So I'll just walk through this. Yeah, so round one submissions. So this is how your like video should go. So essentially you introduce your company. This has to be like creative, but like remember this is like optional, so you don't need to do it if you don't feel comfortable with videos or anything. So the way your video will be submitted, the way your video will be graded is feasibility, which is 25%. Essentially, like how like practical is your thing. So like if you're making some company that like solves COVID for like in 10 seconds or something, or like does some crazy thing that like isn't just generally feasible, then like the chances that you get high scores on that aren't very high. So you want to make sure that it's something that you can elaborate on. So if you want to make a COVID company that like allows like faster testing or something like that. Innovation, so like if you're making like another Google but calling it like Google or something, like that's not innovative. So it definitely has to be something unique. Yeah, you have to like understand how like competition works and like how like a competitive market works, and like we obviously have to see that. So if you can display that, that'd be good. Do you like have a story behind your like company and why you did it, and like is there something other than I wanted to win the competition? Flammability is like what would the $6,000 grand prize. So if you make it past round one, what will happen is you'll go to a global competition in which you'll have a chance to win $6,000 of a grand prize. And yeah, so that's why this is like why does that matter? Because like the $6,000, it's like a $6,000 grand prize. So not only do we offer you the $400 grand prize, but we also offer you a chance to win 6,000. So the reason you should compete in this is like there's just a lot. So yeah. All right. Are there any questions? If you guys want to unmute and ask questions, I'll open the floor up. But just try doing one at a time. Okay, you guys should all be able to talk.
Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, it's Tyler.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's Tyler.
Hi guys. So I'm Kai, the co-founder of Spark Team, which is hosting this entrepreneurship challenge, and so I can provide a little bit more information here. And so, as he said, if you qualify, if you place in this competition, then you automatically get entered into the semifinalist round for Spark Team Accelerator Challenge, which is the competition with $15,000 in return for investment. So not only competing for the $400 in this like local smaller competition, but also for the $15,000 in this huge global virtual challenge. And so I think the real incentive behind becoming part of this challenge isn't just the prize money, it's the fact that you get to be entered into the Spark Team Accelerator Challenge. So essentially, you win the let's say you get first, second, third, or win the sustainability award in the Spark Team Accelerator Challenge, right? Then you automatically get entered into a startup accelerator, essentially. Have meeting world-class investors, mentors, entrepreneurs, and this is the place where real value happens, right? Because these are people who make your business happen. You get free patent filing, they do your innovation for you. All of that happens for you, and you can have your business, whatever you make in this competition, actually become a real thing. And I think that's way bigger than any monetary prize. And so you get the prestige that comes with winning the prize, but also you get the feeling of making your product, whatever you make during this hackathon, a real thing that's impacting possibly thousands or even millions.
Oh yeah, so that's our sponsor, Kyler. We'll be sending out pings every 2 hours to, you know, promote his company, and you know, yeah, you guys should definitely check out his stuff though. Kyler and like his work at Spark Team is really cool. But yeah, no. Are there any other questions that we can answer on the stream? If you guys want to unmute, I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, I've heard a couple questions in the chat, I think.
There were. Okay.
Already took care of them.
Cool. So yeah, I'll just go through them on the live though. So for people who are not checking out the stream, so yeah, Jerry, yes, you should make a dev post. I don't know. Yeah. So this is just the website. Okay. Hold on. My team and I. So yeah, you can talk to Andrew more about that, Eric. So to form a team, for team forming, we're gonna have you guys like, we're gonna probably do something that's like if you don't have a team, then it's okay, but we'll get you guys paired up. Yeah. Can we send .py files? Of course you can. That's code. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So one
Yeah.
thing is, everyone that doesn't have a team needs to like say something in chat because, because not everyone that has a team said so. So we don't know exactly who has a team or not. Like, most of the people filled out the form, but we don't want you to pair with someone that already has a team of 4 or something. So can you just like say something? No, not in this chat, in the Discord, and then we can like try to pair you up after that.
Mhm.
Like if a bunch of you just say it, and then we can just randomly pair you guys up.
Yeah. So now. So do people who choose
Again,
to do,
not in this chat, in the Discord, please.
yeah, everyone please do the in the Discord. Do people who choose different teams compete separately? Yes. Yeah. Oh, so on DevPost, it's actually really cool. So if you guys ever have a question, or if you ever have like, hey, I have this much experience, like maybe who wants to like team with me? Please post it on the discussion forum. You can also change your status to I'm looking for a team, which is really cool because then everyone else who's looking for a team is displayed with their status and like a gallery of people who like they can team with. So that also really works. Cool. And then remember 4 p.m. submission deadline. So you'll just be submitting on DevPost. If you need any help, we'll be there. Yeah, and then like throughout the hackathon, like throughout the hackathon, if you need any help, just please message us in the Discord. Does one person per team submit the final product? Yes, one person per team submits the final product. Please do not spam our systems with. Yes, environmental sustainability entries are the only one eligible for Spark Team.
Well, you can still compete in the Spark-Teen Challenge if you're not doing environmental sustainability, but you're only eligible for the Spark-Teen like $800 in prizes. But you could like, if you have a different project, you could still enter it in like the Spark-Teen round 1 form. But just for this competition, you can only get the prize money, like the 400, 200, 100, if you are doing environmental sustainability, because that's one of the terms that Spark-Teen gave us. I don't think there's like a drawback to either of the side themes. Harsh, you can just listen or make your DevPost account and then get your team to also register for the hackathon on DevPost. Yep. Okay, so should we move on to the next part?
Wait, one. Yeah.
Harsh, we sent a link.
Andrew, check Discord real quick.
I think there's a little bit of confusion on the Spark Team eligibility side of things, so I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. So basically, for Spark Team's Accelerator Challenge, we have 3 stages, right? We have the submission where you video pitch. If you qualify for round 2, the semifinal, this is like the top 30 teams, right? And so if you win this competition, if you place in the top 3 of this competition, then you automatically get fast-tracked to the semifinalist round 14, therefore making you more likely to win $15,000 in the larger competition. And so even if you don't, say, place in top 3 in this competition specifically, then you're able to go back and submit your video pitch to round 1 to kind of get a second chance at qualifying in the Spark Team competition.
Yeah. So our judges. So yeah, thanks for clarifying that, color. But yeah. So okay, just to answer SG's question, yes, having a team is required because we don't want you working alone, and it's really cool to like make decisions. So yeah. For the pitch fest, just to clarify, we will be sending 5 teams to the qualification to the like team competition, and then those 5 teams, yeah, they'll go. But then you guys can submit your video to Spark Team directly, as Color said. So yeah, definitely. I would definitely recommend doing the pitch fest though, because it seems like a cool opportunity. So yeah. Any other questions about Helyx, the hackathon, anything in general?
So now we're going to recommend some great coding resources.
Yeah, I can pull them up. So yeah, we had a slide on this. So so the first one I'm gonna recommend is yes, Stack Overflow. This is true. But yeah, so GitHub.com. So for GitHub, I would definitely, here are all the random projects, but yeah, I would definitely recommend like using GitHub Desktop. So I'll open my GitHub Desktop. So GitHub Desktop's super useful because, and if you need help setting it up, I can definitely do something. If you guys want me to like do a tutorial on that or like some like thing on that, then I can definitely do that. Can you guys see my GitHub Desktop? Oh no, here, I'll open it. Okay, let me share my GitHub screen. Okay. So yeah, here's the GitHub desktop. So essentially, this is a project that I'm working on. So you click like, you can use this to like really easily collaborate with people because you can upload your code to this like general branch and then like allow people to look at it. So for people who have used this, like I would definitely consider like looking into GitHub Desktop and how to use it and like looking at online tutorials. It's really, really cool. This was like our Hack the Helix website, our first one, but this is essentially how we collaborated on it. So if I'm working on some code, I can push it up to the cloud and then someone else can, you know, push their code up to the cloud. And so now we'll have combined codes and combined edits. And it'll obviously tell you, you know, errors if you're like editing the same thing, but yeah. So GitHub is definitely one. Another thing is Glitch. You guys can see my screen. Yeah. So glitch.com is really cool. So for instance, this is our Hack the Helix website, and it's really neat because like after we program this, we can click show in a new window, and here's our website. And then like if I were to be like, and it all, and like another cool feature I think about it is like, you know, like live edits. So it essentially is like Google Docs, and you can see like live edits. So if I was like, if I changed you will to you will, and then you'll see like a change here. Yeah, so it just changed to live. So it's really easy because then you don't have to like refresh and like go back into the HTML and do stuff like that. So it's just really easy to run in my opinion. Okay, so and then there's also Replit, which is really cool. This is just like a bunch of random, like you can create a REPL and then it's just a bunch of code and you can run it. So yeah. And then I think that's most of it. And then a lot of it is just online tutorials and finding your own stuff. So Andrew recommended this GitHub Student Developer Pack. I would too. It has, not only does it have like a bunch of GitHub benefits, but it also has a bunch of like general benefits. So like whether that be domains, free domains, like free other stuff. But yeah, it's definitely cool and it's definitely something I check out. Andrew, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Like any theme questions or any like, oh, hi Conan. Oh, so yeah, thanks for asking that, Kaz. So I had Will create a bunch of random voice channels. The reason being is that, so you guys can say like say team one or something, say team one or something was like, oh, I want to meet, like at 10 p.m. or something today, right? And then everyone's on the team's like, okay, cool, where do we meet? So if you guys want to meet, you guys can just meet in the private channels. We have limited ones, so there's a max capacity of 4. So like, if you guys meet in our private channels on our server, then we can obviously help you easier, and there's just like a lot of benefits in doing that. If we're using certain modules in Python, Shree, can you elaborate on that? Like imports and stuff? Like it should be fine because the compiler there is the same. So no, it should be fine. Just send it regularly. Sorry. Where's the challenge and all the info posted? The challenge, we will update the website today. I'm gonna send out a recording of this lecture along with the video, along with the slides. So yeah. And then, do we need to add teammates right now? John, what do you mean? No, everyone is not going to see everyone else's presentation. The only ones that we will put up are the winners and the special award winners, and yeah, and then some of the sparking ones.
Shri,
yeah.
you can also send if it's like a thing where it's really hard to write the code, like send the judges the code. You can just like do a screen recording video of that. But in most cases, I'd recommend that if you're able to make the code available to the judges and let them like work on like play with the app or website, that would be like the best thing to do because then they actually get to like interact with your thing. Yes. Hugh Hong, yes. Radwan, yeah. So there's also going to be a few people who are submitting early by video, and we have like a lot of judges. It's also likely that it'll like run overtime, which is why we left like a 1 hour gap between judging end time and judging end time and the ceremony or ending ceremony. And we are also limiting teams to a strict 5-minute presentation time limit.
Yeah, so make sure that your video is going to be 5 minutes. So we have 3 hours to judge your thing. So we'll be looking at each entry and then we have 7 judges. So yeah. But we'll potentially leave some judging criteria later in the week. If you guys want me to do like some GitHub like lecture or something, I can definitely do that. So just tell me if you guys don't understand GitHub because GitHub's really useful. So don't worry about the judging logistics right now. So like Monov, is it one judge per video? So no, you'll be like multiple judges will be viewing your video. So yeah.
Also, we'll most likely be adjusting the judging time, as some of you are concerned about, because it was like a recent decision to allow everyone to compete rather than having a people limit. So we might have actually 3 hours or 4 hours for judging
Yeah,
because of the
we will.
yeah, we'll handle it. Don't
So,
worry.
yeah, and so for judging, like I'm gonna say this again. Please don't block out 5:30 to 7:30 or like anytime there's, because like we don't need you for judging. The only people that we'll need for judging are like me, Andrew, Will, and then the judges. So please don't feel obligated to cancel everything in that time period. Yeah, like you won't have to be there. Okay. Does the production quality, so do we have to, so how long is the video? 5 minutes. You don't have to include the video presentation in your submission, but the video presentation is the way that you're going to get into the Sparking Accelerator Challenge. Production quality doesn't matter that much because we understand that like teams may work on, different levels. I mean, it has to be like understandable, but like other than that, there's no like, oh, you have to make it like crazy good, you know. We understand that it's hard to do it like across nations and stuff. So yeah. Okay. What do you mean by that? Sueso. No, you don't need a video if you're doing a Bridge Fest. Okay. If there's no other questions, we can end a bit early. Yeah, for now, only one person has to submit. Yeah, so along with your product, yeah, if you want to do the pitch fest, then you will submit a video along with your product. Does cancer in other animals count? Andrew can probably answer that question better than I can, if he's still here.
No, cancer in animals does not count as environmental sustainability. It may count in biotech or like since it's like medicinal related, but definitely not environmental sustainability.
Okay. How will judging be for international students? Like, what do you mean by that? I think we'll just be judging the same. Like, hopefully everyone is meeting virtually, so the bridge between international students shouldn't change. Any other questions? There's 95 people on the stream. So, any other questions? One. So time zone difference. Yeah, that's definitely something you have to consider. It's going to be 4 p.m. PST, but we understand it's like 4 a.m. in some people's times. If you could just submit your thing like a little earlier, maybe send it to some of your teammates who can like continue to work on it and like, can do that, then that'd be cool. You could have your so I would say yes, it's probably good for all of you guys to be in the presentation video. Reason being, and like it's not hard to come across because like you can film one part and then your other partner in another country can film, or different times they can film another part. So yeah, there's definitely ways to come around it, and like you guys can just do different scenes like cutout. We understand like cutouts because like, we understand that there's different, people across the nation. What theme should we choose? That's completely up to your choice. There's a main theme, which is environmental sustainability. I recommend you make a presentation video. That'd be the best for us too and you guys, because we have to have, because that just speeds up judging. So yeah, definitely presentation video. So it's not a live presentation. It's a wait. So it's not a live presentation. It's a So it's not a live presentation, it's a video presentation that you submit. So SG, on your question, can we submit and present early for international? So you don't have to present like live. You can just record your thing and then send it over and we'll look at it. Like, what do you mean like research paper? Like, so who will do the presentation? It's in your teams. You'll do the presentation. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, it's so you send the video and the software. That's it. Wait, what do you mean research paper?
Are you Lamia's brother or relative? It will not be in a research paper because this is like a coding project.
Wait, how so the presentation will be so the presentation will be a presentation video that you submit to us using DevPost. If that makes sense. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? Or seems there's 84 people in the stream. Any other questions? Okay. Andrew, do you just want to call it? What was the due date for submissions again? Oh, the submissions are due on the 12th at 4 p.m. Are you posting? Oh no, we're not posting the recordings unless you win or something, and unless we get your consent. So no, it's completely private unless we get your consent to post them. Shreyanshu, what's your question? It's not mandatory, correct. So we'll definitely, like, these workshops and seminars will be recorded too, and they're like kind of cool, and like I definitely check them out. But like, if you're busy or if you can't attend, that's completely understandable, and it's not required. Sherry, what's your question? In the video. No. So the video presentation is for the Pitch Fest. I'll send out the link for like more information on it and like how it should be structured and stuff. But essentially, it's as if your product became a company and like the implications of your product becoming a company. Where can we find the schedule? On our website at hackthehelix.org. So yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can find the schedule at hackthehelix.org, and we're gonna send out the slides, which also has the schedule. So there's definitely places, and you can always ask us. So yeah. Is everyone in the Discord? Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. Are there any other questions? for me to answer or anything. So
Unmuted.
I'm now going to stop the recording.
yeah.